We're going to be doing a laugh workout today, starting off with 3 sets of 10 hearty hars, so go ahead and warm yourself up with some giggles before we hop into the laugh factory. Because what we're looking at here are 2 human beings who met on a dating app and decided to start filling each other out, seeing what the other one was looking for in a partner, you know, dipping their toes in the water, if you will. And then the dude just straight up made himself look like a clown. And not like a circus clown, like a really funny clown. This guy is a children's birthday party clown. Just a sad, miserable, pathetic clown. So it starts off with her saying, "I guess I'm just wondering what your expectations are from a partner." He responds like, in terms of expectations from women or men, I don't know how you swing. Women, not men. I really like how he put a lot of emphasis. He was standing on business with that sentence. He said, no, women, not men. Absolutely putting his foot down, making sure that she knew he was only into women. Just like, it was just a weird thing to take a stance like that on. Lol, okay, then yeah. What are your expectations for your girlfriend slash wife slash whatever? Can I be honest about it? It might be seen as outdated or something, haha. Yeah, of course, this is a judgment-free zone. So now that we know they're talking inside of a Planet Fitness, he responds and says, honestly, I'm looking for a traditionally feminine woman. Someone who isn't going to mind being a child rearer and homemaker. Someone who's going to take care of her appearance and herself and just all around is content to be a female in our relationship. I know that's pretty anti-feminist or whatever, but it's just how I feel. Lol. Oh, slay. I don't think that's anti-feminist or outdated at all. Smiley face. TBH, that's pretty similar to what I want too. Lol. Kind of my dream if I'm being honest. Really? So it seems like they're hitting it off. I was first reading this and I didn't see what the hubbub was about on Reddit. I didn't know why everybody was freaking out about it and why it was posted in r/facepalm. But then the next page, you understand why. Because if it seems too good to be true, it definitely is. This isn't a fairy tale. This is the real world. And it just sucks. They seem to be on the same page, but we soon find out they're reading completely different books. Because she says, yeah, I'd love to be able to focus on making my house a home, working on myself, and just be taken care of without having to stress about expenses or money. And he says, what do you mean? So right there's the first indicator that he's not on the same page that she is. They seemingly wanted the same thing, and maybe it got lost in translation or something, but I'm not understanding why he's not understanding at this point. But she says, just that I'd love a traditional man who's going to cover my expenses and make sure I'm getting what I want. Someone who brings that kind of masculine energy. He says, so you're looking for a guy who isn't going to mind buying you whatever you want and basically will just bankroll your whole life? She says, I don't know if I'd put it like that, crying face. And this was the point where I was like, yeah, this guy's a douchebag. He's about to say something crazy. He's about to do something that he can't undo. And oh boy, howdy, does he do that. He says, so you're a gold digger slash user, basically. Man, it was going so well. You guys could have had a lovely, happy life together. But you just called her a gold digger for wanting the same exact thing that you said you wanted. You told her you wanted a traditional housewife who's going to look after the kids and take care of the house. But then at the same time, she's a gold digger because she doesn't have a job. But she responds and says, more like someone who will take care of our family financially so I can take care of him and his kids, etc. Yeah. Traditional roles. Like he said he wanted at the beginning. He said he wanted a traditional feminine wife. And she said, that's what I want too. But then he's like, wait, no, I actually don't want that at all. She says, no, LMAO, I promise. How is that any different from you wanting your girlfriend slash wife to take care of the home and your kids? Exactly. It feels kind of like a double standard for you to call me a gold digger. No, it doesn't feel like it. It absolutely is a double standard what he's doing right now. And this is where the biblical text comes in. It's not a double standard. It's different because the things that I'm looking for, emotionally stable, takes care of herself, good with kids, are inherently female traits. Good women naturally have that stuff. You're looking for some rich guy who can buy you stuff. That's not naturally part of being a guy. It's totally different. Proceeds to not explain how it's completely different, though. I don't understand where this conversation took a U-turn. It feels like we're missing a couple pages of this chapter. And the way he describes those things as female traits and says that good women naturally have that stuff, definitely paints a picture for what kind of guy this is. But he continues and says, I mean, especially because of how expensive life is in general these days, you think I'm going to be able to afford a $500,000 house on one salary just so you can play dress up and not have to worry about a job? You expect to not contribute to the bills or the cost of living? So now you see what this guy's wanting. He wants a traditional relationship in the sense that he wants to have his job or whatever and do absolutely jack shit after that. He wants to come home, just drink beer, not deal with his kids, not deal with his wife, and just watch football or something. But he wants her to also have a job, do everything that he's doing, but also take care of the house, take care of the finances, take care of the kids. He wants a mom. He doesn't want a traditional female wife, feminine wife. He wants a mommy. He wants a mother that he can have sex with. But it gets worse because he says, fuck you. I knew there was something wrong with you. No wonder you tried to humiliate me at the restaurant. I should have left right then and there. I really want to know what she did to humiliate him. What he says is humiliation. Did she have to cut up his steak for him and feed it to him going, here comes the airplane. Who's my big boy eating his steak all by himself? Oh. That has to be what it is. That has to be what the humiliation part was. My guy, chill out. I never said I was looking for a rich guy or a $500,000 house or anything like that. Very true. She never did. Just that I want a guy who can take care of me, especially if I'm raising his kids. Valid point. How can your dream woman be the homemaker and child rearer if she's also working full time to pay the bills? I'll tell you how in one simple word. Delusion. I have absolutely no issue with gender roles or divisions of labor in a relationship, but you're not looking for a traditional woman. You're looking for a maid and nanny who can also pay your bills. In other words, he wants a mommy. He wants a traditional wife, but refuses to be a traditional husband himself. The kind of relationship he wants is the unhealthy kind, where he does absolutely nothing, like 10%, and then the woman does 90%, which will inevitably lead to a burnout and a big crash and burn and explosion in terms of them splitting up. But then he keeps cussing at her, acting like a child throwing a temper tantrum, says, fuck you! Just say you were only interested in me for my money. Next time you match with some sucker. Tell him that up front so he doesn't waste his time with you. Sorry, I can't help but laugh when I'm thinking about reading this part. I paid for last night, my dude. What do you mean interested in you for your money? Oh, talk about emasculation. Oh my god. This dude's been pushing this whole gold digger narrative on her this whole conversation. And she paid for the dinner last night. She paid for their dinner. Talking about she's a gold digger and she paid for his food. I told you were going to need to get those giggles in that warm-up set because these hardy hars, oh my god, we're going to failure. This is so fucking funny. And then of course he's going to keep acting immature like he has this whole entire conversation. Shut the fuck up. My comp sci, computer science degree, is going to do way more for me than your business one ever will, bitch. Had to send that as its own message with a period at the end to know that he was serious. It wasn't a question, it wasn't an exclamation. It was a demand. Well, it was a statement. It was a statement. This guy's going into computer science, and she only has a measly business degree. So we're going to see who's going to be the real winner when it comes to this game of life. But he continues and says, now I know why you're getting a finance degree. Probably so you can scout out the rich guys and try to steal their money. So even after being outed, even after getting absolutely roasted, he should have just blocked her at that point because there's no recovery after she said she paid for your meal last night. After you called her a gold digger repetitively, and then you keep pushing this gold digger narrative after she just roasted the shit out of you. But then she responds and says, if you're going to curse me out and call me a gold digger because I want a traditional man, even though you want a traditional woman, something tells me you're not the type of guy I'm looking for. Lose my number, but I hope you have a good life. So all throughout this entire conversation, she has been nothing but respectful, mature, polite, when she had every opportunity to just absolutely roast this guy the entire time. She could have just been making fun of him. Well, she did get her good joke in, her good jab in with that paying for dinner last night message. I'm really glad she said that. But still, even after talking to this garbage can of a man, she still found a way to be respectful, polite, and even said have a good life. She didn't ever say a cuss word back and didn't act nearly even like a fraction of the immaturity that this dude was sending through to her. And now the real kicker, the final message of this little conversation. After their little argument about her being a gold digger, him wanting a traditional wife, but not actually wanting a traditional wife, he says, "Hey, you up right now?" That is just the most pathetic response he could have ever had in this situation, especially after the whole conversation they just had about him saying fuck you, calling her a bitch, telling her to shut the fuck up, saying that he was more important than her because he had a computer science degree, and then also just completely wasting her time by having this, very terrible conversation with her. And then he has the balls, he has the goal, the confidence to say, "Hey, you up right now?" expecting that he's going to get a response and that it's going to go well. But other than that, I've seen this floating around Reddit the past couple of days and didn't have anything else to record a video about, so oh, Jesus fucking Christ, I'll catch you in the next one.